All right, so for our first map between these two teams, between Blank and Afreeca Freecs, we're going back for a second opportunity to see what Blank have to offer here on Nepal. Now, last time we got to see there were lots of different compositions that they pulled out. I believe it was MT1, right, that went with the triple tank composition, but it was ultimately bested by Blank's 222 coming out. Huss, I believe, on the Soldier 76 was doing a fantastic job, but how is he going to match up against a Toon?
He's gonna have to play a better hit scan game than he did before. He's definitely gotta, I think, play more of the Genji, stick to more of the projectile than he did more of the flex into the hit scan, the McCree.
I think that on paper, Blank can't take any 1v1s. If they're gonna win, they're gonna have to win in like man advantage situations, like 2-on-1s. Huss and Aichup really need to work well together. Huwu, I don't think he can be allowed to do as much damage as he was in the last match. He's got to be a little bit more careful in how he plays, and maybe help assist his damage leaders a bit more. It's going to be tough, but Blank, this is an opportunity to show everyone else what they got.
Man, I thought we were losing our voices, but those Aussies
Screaming.
with those chants every single time, and now we saw this before here on Village. It's going to be the Far Mercy battles. It's mirrored compositions now, but it's going to be the jump coming in from Jin first. Trill dropped down low, but it's Huss on the back line trying to focus down these tanks here. Ty Dollar dropped down low. He might actually lose his mech, but no, it's a Toon taking the mid-air battles. 2 direct rockets taking him out, forcing out the res from Gunba.
Toon's really accurate with these rockets, already able to win the air battle once. Huss able to return though, getting the big kill, and now Lucid gets the res onto a Toon to force another battle in the skies. Don't really know which way it's going so far, but Huwu looks like he'll permanently be dead, and Arhan already got a pulse bomb off and a pulse bomb kill onto RQT.
Now, it's IU up on the opposite end, though, trying his best to fight back into this. The point has unlocked. They do have some members on there. Challenge for now, but now we see another pulse bomb. It's going to be EU up this time with the double kill. Took out IDK, but there's the barrage. Huss instantly res back after getting the kill onto Ty Dalla.
Oh, Goomba's not going to escape, though. Remember, they have to switch things up. RQT was playing the Mercy earlier on Hollywood, but when it comes to control, when they want to run a Lucio, they have to make that switch happen. And Huss, he's had 2 reses invested into him. He's done a lot of work. He already got a barrage off and used, but it doesn't seem like it was enough work, so Toon was able to stay alive and shut down 2 more kills.
Such an extended team fight out there. We saw that the Valkyrie came out for Lucid along with the Primal Rage and a barrage from both ends here, but it's going to be Blank with 3 ultimates here on this retake already. Arhan starts it off, taking out Trill, forcing out the instant res from Gunba.
I think, like you mentioned earlier, you gotta watch for Huwu getting a little too aggressive. He's definitely gonna get punished more in this series, like you said earlier.
Sound barrier came out for RQT. That's gonna help them mitigate a lot of damage as the self-destruct come out. It's gonna be Ty Dalla picking up 2. Now both supports are gone. They've lost 4 members on the side of Blank. They're gonna retreat here as Afreeca Freecs already up to 40%.
No ultimates to use anymore, though. They had to commit everything into their last fights. No sound barrier anymore. Lucid getting close. I say close. He's 50% of the way through towards his next Valkyrie, and Gunba hasn't had a chance to use it just yet. He's been dying a little bit too early in these fights and did die earlier on. Was, I guess, the first person to die in the initial engagement.
You see both tanks from each side battling it out there on the bridge. It's going to be EU up, taking the 1v1, winning the battle up against Arhan, forcing the instant res out. Lucid doesn't have the Valkyrie yet, so he's not going to have a second res. Gunba has already used his, so now they push forward. Jin now down. They have the man advantage, but Arhan, he was the one who got res back into this, trying to fight back.
I see you shaking your head there, McGrave. You're seeing those shots out of a Toon hitting. Trill almost got taken down pretty much alone from a Toon, but nice barrage comes in. That's himself 1 kill. Let's get kill on Arhan, and finally, Blank able to turn the point around, but they had to commit everything into that fight and have nothing to fight with. And AF are sitting on 3 big ultimates.
I think I kind of misjudged the start of this match. It's becoming more apparent that the tank battle here, it's going more of a the kind of centerpiece of what's going to make the difference between these 2 teams.
Now Jin, speaking of tanks, is the one with Primal Rage as Huwu is working his way towards that self-destruct that we've seen in the past. Self-destructs being utilized to try and nerf the Far Mercies in the sky here as the engagement does come out. Eat you up, dropping low. I think he's taking a battle up against Arhan right now. Got the barrage, there it is, never mind, the micro missiles coming out. Sound barrier used by RQT here, but Eat You Up finally falling to Arhan. Will they be able to get that res? No, the self-destruct takes out Gunba. Both supports now down. The res is there for Lucid. It's gonna be AF able to battle it out here on the point. They just need to clean up Huwu, and they'll flip the point.
Yeah, it'll stall for a little bit of extra time there, but McGrave, when you said earlier on, coming down to the tanks as being like the big battlefield, can you kind of go into that a little bit more for people at home to give them an idea?
I think last series, Huwu was getting away with a lot of kind of objective-based, getting to use his cooldowns more frequently than he should have. And I think from the very beginning, you see Afreeca Freecs kind of punishing, desuiting him a lot earlier. Same with the Winston, killing the Winston a lot earlier. They're way better at burning tanks and with their focus fire, and it's really showing.
95% now. They have to send people onto the point. Sound barrier is there. It only connects onto 3, but that's going to be enough as RQT does fall. Gunba getting close towards that Valkyrie. He's 95% away, and he falls down, so they're not going to be able to get a secondary res. The man advantage as the barrage comes out from Huss, but there it is, the counter attune. With one rocket to take him out, and now it's Afreeca Freecs. A huge man advantage as overtime is ticking away. Self-destruct is going to be used by Huwu to try and stall this out, but still the Primal Rage is not going to be enough as that Winston gets burned down. The micro missiles come in, and with that, Afreeca Freecs take the first point.
Well, Mercy versus No Mercy at the end. You can kind of guess how that one's going to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you play comp at all?
Like I said earlier, to kind of further my point, I think I was a little hasty on the DPS kind of comparison. I think they were pretty even in that series. Like I mentioned earlier, the tanks kind of made the difference. Who was losing his suit really early? True would have to pop his primal rage pretty early.
All right, so now, second point. AF, they're sitting on map point here up against Blank as we move on to Shrine. We'll see. Neither team really sitting on a far mercy at this point. It's just going to be double hit scan. Huss favoring the McCree while Attune wants to pick up that Soldier 76. Now we are out of the gates. Of course, just a nice little speed boost coming out from both teams to make sure that the Winstons and Tracers get there in time.
Well, besides, the tank battles, Huss really struggled with flashbangs. Dealing with Tracers, just hitting flashbangs, period, for some reason, in their last matchup. So something you have to look for is, this is another one there. It's going to be a really key factor.
Got instantly punished. RQT goes for the res. They will answer back, but there's the res from the side of Afreeca Freecs. Attune gets the D-Mech onto Huwu, and that's going to allow them to push forward. 3 damage coming out from Tidala, and with that, it's going to be Afreeca Freecs once again taking the point.
So you saw Tidala attacking tanks when we saw the Mercy off to his left-hand side. He actually looked right at her. Instead of going for her, he went for tanks.
I think that is respecting the call. I think he could have taken the opportunity to try and get that kind of like the one bang on the support, but I think he was respecting the call, focusing the tanks, and kind of, respecting his callers,
A full team following a call, even if it's not a good one, is always going to perform better than a team split in a decision.
Yep.
Jin, we saw him do this before, and it was on Nepal, where he was just playing the zoning controlling style, but that still allows Huss to come in somehow. Gets the Helix Rocket kill onto Tidala. Tidala gets the res, he'll get his mech back, and now the Primal Rage. Jin trying to chase him down, but he misses the jump. Now he's going to go over the roof here, but the Tactical Visor coming out from Attune. Transcendence is there for Gumba to try and answer back. It's a man advantage now as Blank continue to push forward and eat you up, coming alive now, forcing out the Valkyrie from IDK. And with that, 2 members go down on the side of Blink.
Looks like RQT overextended a little bit there. I mean, it's kind of an enemy lines, behind enemy lines.
That was a good movie.
It was, yeah.
Good movie. You want the Owen Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Was it Owen Wilson?
I think it was Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you were looking at me like, I thought you were looking at me like,
No, I was
sure,
looking at you because I agree, and we actually agreed on a movie choice.
Yeah, the difference maker there was that RQT got, picked out for uses Valkyrie, while Afreeca Freecs got to use both their support ults. That was a big difference.
Now Tidala, he's sitting on that self-destruct. He's going to send it out as he does see the approach from the outside, but during that meantime, it splits up the forces, gets 2 kills. It's going to be eat you up to receive the res. Valkyrie is used to bring Trill back in. Now Huss from the outside with that Tactical Visor is going to force out the res from IDK as Attune is brought back into this, but now Huwu able to open up with that Diva. Arhan trying his best to bring this back. Pulse Bomb won't connect though, so now they will be able to get the D-Mech onto Tidala and eat you up, coming alive.
Yeah, but Attune with the Visor is going to be looking for the kill on RQT. He's not going to be able to get it though as Huss takes a Helix Rocket directly to the face of AF. But I did like the self-destruct there with Tidala. I split Blink in half and then allowed them to pick up 2 kills before the rest of Blink was even able to get out and help.
But 99%, that's what Afreeca Freecs are sitting on. They just need one good team fight win. They do have the Primal Rage, and they're going to have both support ultimates up soon Well, the only thing they're going to be able to answer with on the side of Blank is going to be that Transcendence.
Look how safe Huss is playing too, actually flanking around towards the other half of the side, realizing the dive was going to come in towards pillars, towards the elephant. Transcendence going to be used out of Blank, but again, double ultimates up for AF. Just a second, IDK gets his Valkyrie online. And Jin's going to pop his Primal Rage, so it looks like they want to make this fight happen, and RQT is just being zoned away from his own team here.
Yeah, he lost track of him though, and he's wondering where that Mercy went. That opens up RQT to be able to get that res. IDK comes back, but now it's us with another tactical advisor. Able to get the kill onto Jin. IDK drops low, but it's Arhan. A two-man pulse bomb eating you up, giving us body for the play. He will finally fall, will Huss, but it's Hu now facing off against his D.Va counterpart. There's the self-destruct. Will she be able to get back into the mech? She does. Hu's now going to get D-mech, but the Primal Rage is there. He's got his tank buddy to keep him alive as Arhan now trying his best to clean this up.
We talk about the damage to the pair of Huss and IEG. We'll get to that in a second because 68% and counting for Blank is starting to really get some strong steam here. Visor coming out of Attune to zone them off the point. There's still a man there. I'm not sure exactly where he is. It's going to be Trill able to jump back in with his own shield. And RQT already has his Valkyrie popped. He's doing the AoE healing. He's got the double res. The point has been flipped in the midst of this. And a pulse bomb will land, but not do damage.
Kaidala has fallen. Arhan too. Attune getting forced out of this fight now as he's getting pocketed. There is a Transcendence, but they are losing health. Jin is nowhere near that Trans. He's finally going to get topped off here, but Attune is focused down by Huwu. Now he's going to be forced to res back in, but they flip it on the side of Blank and AF. Back away.
I ate you up. He wanted to get those exit kills right there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was looking directly towards the tomb, but if he dies, that's such a big advantage for AF to push back in.
I think Afreeca Freecs is getting a little overconfident here. They're taking fights that they shouldn't be taking. They could just dry fight one fight and then come a bunch of ults and definitely just steamroll this point. But I think they got really overconfident in their play.
Yeah, Attune with the Sixth Sense there, spotting out Eat You Up, and now he pushes forward. It's gonna be the tactical visor. Huss shut down, and that is huge. He was knocked off the ledge there, so RQT's not gonna be able to res that. It's a huge man advantage. Arhan gets the pulse bomb onto RQT, and with that, they're trying to fight back our Blank. Do they have the reses for this? We'll see. IDK does have that Valkyrie, brings the Attune back into this, but still it's now a man advantage in favor of Blank. They just have to stay on the point here and try to force them back. Attune has fallen.
Yeah, they're not going to have any healers on the side of Blank too because RQT is running back from spawn. Kaidala about to be desuited. They're eventually going to be able to burn this one. And Huwu still has a lot of HP to work with. He just needs to get this kill to Kaidala before he can get the remech back in. Arhan still alive. No pulse bomb in hand just yet, but he does have Attune coming back in to help out. The Doomfist switch even coming in for Lucid there, and they have no healers on point.
And now this is where Huwu gets to wake up. He gets to just light up the kill feed with this D.Va as he was doing in that matchup just before this, and you hear the Aussies cheer as they take this point. We're going to point number 3 here on Nepal.
That was a non-stop fight.
Yeah.
I think if Afreeca Freecs just gave them a little more respect, gave them a dry fight, and came back in, they would have took that point very easily and just ended the map right there. But instead, they got really overconfident, and they came in and used all their ults, and it really screwed their ult economy.
There's a weird stagger of support ultimates too, where there was like a Valkyrie up for one team and a Transcendence for the other, but not vice versa. It's not like they both had the same ultimates at the same time, so there's always this like weird difference in what ultimates were available and how you can use them. I would not be surprised to actually see Orisa. I would be happy to see Orisa and Roadhog. It's a double insta-kill potential.
This is where it all started for Blank, and this is where it's going to end here on Nepal. As we move on to Sanctum, Orisa and Hog along with the Junkrat on the side of Afreeca Freecs, while Huss will be picking up the Zarya for the triple tank composition for the side of Blank.
They still don't have the damage to burst through those Orisa shields though, but if they dive past it, the shield's not going to do a whole lot of anything. Huwu, a little overextended, does have Trill off to his side, and Arhan has no HP left to work with, but he somehow gets a kill and IH you up, getting aggressive behind them. I think he actually went for a flanking route here with the concussive mines, and he's still doing some serious damage, and no one can chase him really.
No one can really chase him, but the Zarya, Arhan dropped low. He actually connects, and now he might fall to his doom as Trill just gets the last little bit of tickle there, but during that, he was able to play enough distraction, allowing for AF to actually get onto the point and cap it.
Arhan solo carried that fight. You've got to watch your flank stand. Can't let your Junkrat kill half the team.
But here's the dive once again, just running past that Orisa as Trill is in the back line. Attune, he's got the Deadeye, connects, gets the D-Mech onto Huwu. Now Huwu in a vulnerable spot. He's on the wrong side of the map as the Riptire comes out. It's right into the back line. He spots it out over the corner, connects, taking out Gunba. But they backed off, allowing Blank to actually flip the point.
I mean, they make sure to keep it contested too. Trill finally need to be brought back to life because they need both tanks to get on that point to He's dragged for some time, but Huwu gets killed instantly by Arhan, and Trill will go down a second time. Again, the tanks of Blank having such a tough time of staying alive now.
They're splitting up a lot here. You can really tell, like, this comp, if you're split, you're going to get punished. There's a McCree to flashbang you. There's a Junkrat to trap you and throw a mine at you. You really have to be careful. Well, you got to stay together and you got to push in together.
And how does RQT actually go in for a res up against this composition?
You don't really.
Yeah, like even if it's like kind of just in the middle of like no man's land, you still have to be wary of a flashbang, of a trap, of the mines. Hook comes out, Jin connects onto the Winston, and he will survive for now. Fortify also going to be used by Taidala, as it's the whole hog from Jin, leaving him vulnerable. So Huss able to take him down, but Huwu with the self-destruct IDK, he does have that Valkyrie, so it's a second res coming in. But now, once again, it's the Deadeye, deflected by Huss.
Gets really big kill there. Arhan is still alive in towards the back, though, going for the flanking route another time. Gets the kill on a Trill, and no one's paying this man any attention, which probably is why he's already close to another tire. The Bongos will fade out. The point will go back in the way of AF. Now Blank, I mean, the thing is, like, the comp they're running, or at least originally running and still running now, isn't meant to deal with the shield that Taidala can throw down. It's dive. They don't have the speed. And how do you dive into a hog who can just destroy with your left click, or the flashbang, or the potential trap? I don't see how that can really work.
Yeah, I think their ideology behind it is that they want to kill the McCree and then kind of snowball and kill the supports off of it, but just not executing properly. And they're letting Arhan just walk into their backline for free and kill their whole backline. I mean, he's really a difference maker right now.
Now 75% and ticking up for Afreeca Freecs. It's Blink looking for this retake. They're going to have both support ultimates up along with that pulse bomb. Huss working his way towards the next blade. Just needs to land a few more shurikens now. I think that's what they're waiting on. As the dive comes on out, and there we go. Trill jumps into the backline, but instantly they kite back. There's a hook once again. Trill dropping low. He's able to back away. The Transcendence is going to be used by Gunba here, but Arhan catches out RQT, and that is a value tire in and of itself as the hook comes out, shutting down Huss.
It's not like they're going to escape with Valkyrie either when the tires can climb walls so easily and so quickly. Yeah, they get the point, but they don't have the men to maintain control if you're in a tomb. Maybe the idea was to kill him off the bat, but this man is staying alive, and what a flashbang, reading exactly where Aichup is going to be. Gets the final kill, and AF will take this first map.
There's a res. Trill comes back into this. They do have that Valkyrie form, though, but it's going to be attuned once again with the Deadeye. The Mercy not able to get out of dodge, will fall to it, and it's just going to be AF pushing forward now. Primal Rage is going to get popped. Hook comes in. Huss, you got to fight on the point. Now he's going to try and kite back, but still, it's going to be Lucid now, taking out Trill. And the only thing on the kill feed so far for Blank is going to be that Supercharger, and with that, Afreeca Freecs challenged by Blank, but they will take the first map.
I think Blank had a good composition for what, at the start there, for what Afreeca Freecs had, and I think they just kind of panicked and didn't stick to their game, and you know, it showed. They lost.
You mean the Zarya Winston Diva?
Yeah, the Junkrat really struggles when you have that many tanks and that many shields kind of burst through, but what they were doing is, like, he was flanking, obviously, and he just killed everybody.
Right, right. And Huss here in this clip, he actually got so many people low, but he never got any kill confirmations, which is always like one of the worst feelings as a soldier, when not able to burst someone down or at least finish off that frag. But Blank, what can we say? Do we think they put up a better fight than we expected, or was that about what we thought would happen?
It's better than I expected, for sure. I think they just need to stick to the game, like I said before the match started, that they need to play their own game and not really kind of deviate from what their plan was originally, and they might be able to pull out that map there.
Yeah, and the matchup between Eat You Up and Arhan we saw in Village, the Tracer battles there, went really back and forth, and I was surprised because, well, you know, Eat You Up, one of the better Tracers in the OPC, but Arhan holding his own. Now, we will see where we move for the second map as we move on after this short break.
赛，历经1年战火再次点燃，来自国内外的8支顶尖战队蓄势待发，上海国家会展中心正式拉开战幕。谁能缔造全新的传奇？谁又能力斩群雄，勇夺桂冠？10月26日至29日，敬请锁定 APAC 观看赛事直播。
我们是希望，
我们是荣耀，
我们是勇气，
我们是正义。
我们是怜悯，我们是决心，
我们是和谐，
我们是守望先锋。
Time to change it up. Oh, my ultimate is ready. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's break it down. Move to the beat.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Afreeca Freecs versus Blank. And our man, it's going to be Jin, stepping in for Afreeca Freecs as the MVP there on Nepal. Take a look, 39 eliminations, and we saw he was playing a great control style, making sure that Huss wasn't able to get much freedom off playing those hit scan heroes. What did you think of his performance?
I think overall he played really well, especially when he pulled out the Roadhog. I think a lot of mistakes that Roadhogs like to make is like to be that hero, looking for the hero hooks, but he's really just playing smart and making sure he's pulling the Divas, pulling the Winstons, and like you said, good zone control.
So, I mean, it's great to see that, like Afreeca Freecs, as Jason, you had mentioned, they're bringing in a lot of DPS players to fill out their roster here on separate roles. Now, can you elaborate on why that works out for them?
I feel like DPS players make the best. Well, okay, if you're playing Lucio, you might not feel like it, but your damage is quite a bit. It is significant enough. And just having someone who has the raw aiming power and raw mechanical genius like DPS players normally have is an asset to have on any hero. Because obviously, like, skill ceilings are quite different on different heroes. Like, Genji's going to have a higher skill ceiling than, like, a Winston. But playing a Winston to the same kind of level you can play like a Genji is pretty insane. Like, playing to that kind of level. And I think DPS players can exceed, you know, the normal skill ceiling sometimes on some heroes just because of how good they can be.
Yeah, I mean, we saw once there was like shiftings of metas when like maybe Genjis were out of play. Shadowburn, Hawksall having to flex on to things like Winston and Diva. They did a pretty good job, but it's great to see them back in their actual roles. Though.
And also to me, like, it gives an idea of their like of them as a person. You know, if you're willing to go from being a star DPS like Hawksall to playing Lucio for your team that gets like no love and no attention, that shows you want to win. And that's the type of player you want to have on a team. You don't want, you know, the selfish people who just want to play DPS and want to be like the big star. You want to have 6 people who are all oriented around being the best team in the world.
Exactly. And I think when you switch those roles, you kind of understand how the other roles work and how you can play around it. So a player like I like to bring up about this is Swoosh. Big Genji player, everyone known for his Genji, and he switches to Winston. He's good at it. Of course he is, because he's a good player. He understands how the DPS role works, and he can kind of shift that into his play style.
That's our third Genji that we've seen swap off onto a separate role.
So I know you never played World of Warcraft, Jamerson, but McGravy, did you ever play World of Warcraft?
I did not.
So in World of Warcraft, right, you can raid, and you have like you have tanks, DPS, supports, right?
Yep.
But like going from a DPS position to playing, or tank position to playing like support, like in a raid or something like that, you learn about how aggressive or how differently you can play as a tank. You can learn like what you can do differently in your role to either like be more aggressive or to like raise how good you can be.
Exactly.
Or like when you need to be passive and when you need to play a little bit more scared. So I think the same kind of applies here to Overwatch.
If you're a good player, you're gonna be able to switch roles, and it's like you could probably benefit, like I said, as like switching roles. You kind of understand how each role works and what you can like push your limits.
What about as a player to become a caster? It's going back to playing.
I don't know. You tell me.
Do you feel
how
like
am I doing?
Do you feel like you're learning a little bit more?
I am. Yeah, kind of understand it from your point of view.
All right, so we're going back down under.
God, you're terrible with accents. We're literally terrible with accents.
It's going to be Junkertown, and this is what we were alluding to earlier on. Widowmaker battles.
I'm actually impressed that you're that bad. Does that make sense? Like, it's actually like that
impressive
bad,
how bad
that it's
I am,
impressive. Yeah.
All right, back on home turf. Our Blank here, eat you up. We saw he had a standout performance on that Widowmaker. He's going to be battling off against a Toon here. It's interesting to see that, you know, generally we're seeing Orisa along with Widowmaker on the defense, but there's no Orisa this time.
He's really looking for the shot, though. But yeah, like you said, no Orisa on defense, so Toon can't just sit behind a shield and get a lot of early damage or easy damage onto like the tank kind of a Blank, who's trying to move the payload. Both Widows trying to fill each other out. I don't know who I'd give it to. Haven't really seen a Toon too much. Night Trip has had some great shots, yes, but completely different players for both teams.
Ty now demeched, so the defense matrix is gone. That's going to leave a window of opportunity, especially for Eat You Up here, as Arhan's getting pressured on this Genji, dropped down to 5 HP. He's able to make it away to the safety of his team, but it's going to be Trill who's fallen here. I don't know exactly where he fell as Arhan able to get a kill onto Eat You Up.
Well, now he's going to get exposed here too. He almost has an ultimate. He's going to get resets off the midst of this. He's still allowed to play this aggressive without being punished. How is this man not dead from having 5 HP to help get a team wipe? Just imagine how differently that fight could have gone if you killed him earlier in this.
The thing about the Widowmaker pick here, when they're doing Widow versus Widow, you're really putting like the world on your Widow's shoulders. So you get that initial first kill, you're pretty much going to win the fight. It's all coming down to the Widow.
They're trying to supplement that damage, right? Of course, Huss is on that Tracer to try and get into the backline. They also have Trill here as another threat to deal with. Eat You Up. Oh no, does he know that Arhan's on the lurk for him? He's already on top of him. He has to get the blade out as Arhan gets the reset, but no, it's going to be a Toon. Getting the kill onto Huss, trying to answer back now. It's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Blank, as IDK is just holding on to this Valkyrie.
He wants his kill, and he's actually ahead of a Toon in terms of his ultimate. He's going to get the shot off onto IDK. That actually could have been a big kill for them, because now, with him alive, they're going to have definitely a second chance to contest this. Still can't connect the shot onto a Toon. He's just going to just jiggle peek that one. And Arhan's going to come back in from spawn. But they have double support ultimates from both sides, so this is going to be a long fight, and it's definitely going to be a contest.
It's great. They were able to shut down that ultimate, though. The Dragon Blade is now gone Transcendence.
Oh, they did it!
Forward, but they were able to secure the point. The whole hog used by Trill there, just to boop everyone back. Self-destruct now coming out from Huwu just to get his mech back. It looks like Ty Dalla is able to get his. Now, fight just breaking out. As Afreeca Freecs, I think they might have just been a little annoyed, a little peeved there. They're going to take their frustrations out on Blank.
Well, Blank didn't use any support ultimates. They're like, all right, well, we got the point. Who cares if you beat us, because you're committing a hell of a lot to this. What, a Primal Rage was used, a Transcendence was used in the beginning of the fight, as Lucy's now 60% in. Now Toon has switched over to Soldier. Yeah, they won't like get the kills. I feel like maybe if they did use ultimates and force the fight right away and won that fight, second phase would have been relatively easy, as we've already heard, you know, from the Envision guys about how snowball second phase can be if you get any of those like stagger kills.
They were able to spot out Lucid, forcing out that res. The Toon answers right on back. Huss is fallen, and he is nowhere near his team to get that res. So Blank, they're just going to go ahead and reset here, as now we've seen this before. Second point. Can go for a really good hold. A Toon just holding up to the high ground. This is what we were talking about earlier. A hook comes in, Trill! Reaching these max range hooks as Arhan's in the back line, facing off against the Battle Mercy and RQT. Oh!
That can't happen.
Well, it just did, and now it's going to affect the side of AF as they're using the Valkyrie and the Reses. I believe Arhan was not brought back to life, but he has a blade, and Blank is going to have a Transcendence Gumba. If he can just save his chance for this in particular, this could be very good for Blank.
Take a breather, actually saving Trill's life there. The self-destruct was right in his face, but Tydala did connect, taking out RQT with that.
I think this is why they like the Roadhog so much. Like, you don't have to rely too much on IEU up to get the headshots. Maybe you kind of a win condition with the hooks, and, you know, Trill's doing a lot right now.
And I'm noticing that Gumba, he's always discording the hook targets. So even though Trill initially can't one-shot the target for the most part, the discord will make it possible.
Yeah, that with the damage boost and the Roadhog, there's more often than not you're going to get the kill, especially on the tanks.
Now they were able to fight back off the back of self-destruct coming out from Huwu there. Now they're making their way on towards second. It looks like Arhan, once again, on a flanking route, trying to spot out Eat You Up, but they do have that recon visor, so they know exactly where he is, exactly what his plan is. There's the D-Mech onto Tydala as Eat You Up. And Arhan, why'd you go for that challenge?
Well, they're going to be paying the price, though. Losing way too many people. They do not invest the Valkyrie because they don't have it. IDK gets the res onto Jin anyways. This is going to be a fight that Blank's going to win, and this is going to be the second point now taken. 3 minutes left of time, and Blank looking better than they did against AHQ on this map.
You can really see they're being really methodical in the way they're approaching right now. They're watching their flanks. You can see Huss is being really aware of his surroundings, making sure he's not getting from behind, not giving up free kills, and it's really showing.
Do you think Arhan swaps off the Genji at this point? He's been holding on to his blade. He lost a battle up against, you know, a battle Mercy. Maybe he's playing a little bit tilted here, playing with emotions.
There's no chance. He's got to use this blade.
If he doesn't get anything here, I think we definitely look for a swap.
Pulse Bomb comes out. Jin has fallen. Huss is able to even get the D-Mech here, forcing out the rest, and now here is the blade. Jin picking up 2. RQT is down, and with that, Arhan, with the help of the rest of his team, should clean up the rest of Blink.
We'll see how they can hold aggressive here. Once you kind of establish your defense here on third, it's pretty tough to get out. There's the 2 little corridors you can choose which way you want to go, but either way, it's pretty advantageous for the defense.
We also have a self-destruct and Jin too, so you can afford to be this aggressive. Double support ultimate on top of that. And Blake has nothing to really open up this point. They don't really have any instant kill potential. This Trill gets a great hook.
Ooh, Arhan dropping low, but he does have a dash to get to safety as Transcendence is popped early from Blank, and nothing coming of it, just topping off his team. There's a self-destruct, wasn't able to make it to the window, but the Primal Rage is now going to be used by Jin. Self-destruct out from Huwu connects onto Arhan. Now both of the offensive heroes are down on the side of AF, so Blank, they're going to continue to press forward.
No Valkyrie. Now. Well, I don't know why IDK didn't Valkyrie. They get the 2 DPS back alive. Instead, he just lets them die, lets them respawn back in to save it. Maybe he wants to match RQT when his Valkyrie gets used.
I think he might have been at a risk that he didn't have to take. They still have time here to hold on third, to maybe let the cart push a little more, and you can come back in with the Valk and the blade.
Now it's making the final bend here on third. Arhan lurking with this blade at 100%. He's got it ready. Pulse Bomb has come out. And now there it is. The Valkyrie is going to be used, and now he has the dash, but he doesn't want to commit it quite yet. He's got the reset of the kill onto Trill. There it is. Going to be able to clean up, and this Valkyrie goes to waste.
You could see Arhan in his eyes. He wanted that Mercy. He wanted to shift up, but he knew better, and that's definitely something you can see he's improved on through his gameplay throughout the years.
Let's see, 20 seconds left to go. Blank have already done quite the feat, I think, in my opinion, able to transition into the third phase. You know, it's a map they practice quite a bit, and they don't really have a lot of ultimates to use here. Transcendence will be up momentarily, but Trill has the whole hog on the Roadhog. But he doesn't have really much of an opportunity to get much kills off of this or much damage done. Arhan's going to fall to Gunba. No res going to be coming in, it looks like. And look at that, they split them in half yet again, immediately pushing to the Unpass to fight them, and the Pulse Bomb has landed.
But Huss, he swapped off onto that Genji now. Getting the dashes, he's on top of that Zenyatta, but the Transcendence is there to keep his team alive as the Primal Rage is going to be used now from the side of Afreeca Freecs. Tydala takes out RQT, and that is not who you want to fall first in this team fight as we are in overtime. Here's the self-destruct from Tydala, just put an end to this, but still they are losing bodies. They're continuing to lose bodies on the side of Blank. Huwu just barely able to make it back to the mech, but it's not going to be enough. It's just stalling out now. The inevitable end. And Blank will get stopped after 81.47 meters.
Yeah, I think once you kind of get stopped on that third point there, it's pretty hard. It's difficult to, cap that point. You have the little the middle point that rotates, and it's really advantageous if you can't control the high ground.
I like the way IDK was playing. I don't know. I feel like because this patch made it so hard as double supports, or as supports to like survive with no protection, he's very aware and very conscious of when his Zenyatta's being focused, when Lucid's being attacked. It just seems like every time they're able to get on top of Lucid, you always see the healing beam from IDK to keep him up. I see a lot of teams struggle with that.
Yeah, that's something that even my team commented on when we scrimmed Afreeca Freecs, was that like Jar would say, oh yeah, I'm on the Zen, and immediately the Mercy beam's there. If the other way around, you're on the Mercy, immediately the orb's there. They're really good on their backline.
So now, Afreeca Freecs. Both of these teams, Blank and Afreeca Freecs, they have, secured their spots into the round of 8, but I'm glad that they're not resting on their laurels. They're still trying their heart out here, and you can tell either team really going for anything cheesy. They're trying to take it man v man here, mano y mano against it. We're seeing
Mano's not
battles.
on AF anymore.
Huh?
Mano's not on AF anymore, though.
Poor choice of words coming out there. Yeah, Mono. We're going to be seeing him, I believe, at BlizzCon, right? Representing Team Korea. Up against your boys, Jason.
Yeah.
USA. USA.
Can't really say that.
Going to be a little bit difficult here to get that chance started. But
if they do it, I'll be happy.
Better be happy.
I don't know how I'd feel if USA actually won that. Be so torn.
If they win that, then I mean, we won BlizzCon. I don't care if we lose the grand finals or the semifinals. We won BlizzCon by beating Korea.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The ultimate moral victory.
I'll tell you what. If USA loses to Korea, we'll put McGravy on the roster. So they don't play any more matches. So
saying I'm bad?
No,
Is that what you?
I'm saying they won't play any more matches, so it doesn't matter who's on the roster.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so this is the form that we're a little
I'll
bit
be
more
on it too.
used to, by the way. But already Arhan comes in.
Ooh.
He's got the dash resets, picks up 2 kills, forces out the resurrection, and a 2 now cleaning up. And that's what you want to do up against an Orisa composition. Dive, kill them, get rid of them all.
That was a slaughter. He already has his blade. It's 30 seconds to the game.
Yeah, very well done. Those dash resets were ridiculous. And come on, McGravy. I'll never say anyone's bad. To their face.
To their face.
Nah. Come on, I was rooting for you on the Roadhog yesterday against Vici.
Absolutely, that's all right.
See?
I get it.
I'm glad we have this understanding. Meantime, though, Arhan's pushing up, and he's getting directly behind them with his blade. And look at this. He spots so many people in his sights. And there's going to be a lot of kills going towards this man.
Yeah, you up the first to fall. He's got the resets as he sheets that blade, and now he's on the hunt for this Mercy. And that was pretty interesting because it was the entirety of Afreeca Freecs. They were all off the payload for a good 5 seconds, and Blank should have known that this dive was coming out.
Yeah, they didn't see that there's that many people on the payload. I think once you see one pushing around that bend, you kind of have to be wary of what's happening.
But there were no people. There was none.
Exactly.
Like, it was telegraphed that this engage was coming. Now Eat You Up will swap off that Widowmaker, not getting them anything on the defense. As we move into second of Junkertown, the interior portion of this map.
We'll see if they take an early fight here. You get a really good early fight on the defense. Once the gate closes, it kind of cuts them off, and we'll see if they take this fight here.
Trill on the high ground. He's got Hulu off to his side with a self-destruct. The Transcendence has been used right off the bat. And IDK has Valkyrie, but Blake, they're dead. They fall extremely quickly before anything can be done from Trill. And they're just going to die on the payload. Make sure to stall that for a couple more seconds. Actually, still a man on the payload. I think it was Aiuchu up as he will be cleaned up. And AF making a strong transition from that first to second point.
That's kind of the result of when you pick not a cheesy defense, but a kind of unorthodox defense with the Orisa Hog. If it doesn't work out and you kind of get steamrolled, it's going to be difficult to stop second as well by switching heroes.
Yeah, now they are still in the ultimate disadvantage as on the side of Afreeca Freecs in that last engagement, all they used, Transcendence and a Pulse One, of course, as Toon. He's going to build up another one. Now, as the blade is ready, he spots out the Mercy. He jumps right on top of her. Second slash is what's going to finish her off, and they're just cleaning up. Jin, the only one to fall here on the side of Afreeca Freecs as IDK brings him instantly back up. And even a self-destruct kill, just throwing everything in on Blank. They're going to clean them up, no problem whatsoever, and secure second.
I feel like... Oh, hey.
Hey. We both feel like something happened.
You owe me a soda. No, go ahead.
I feel like Arhan has just been powering up as his match has gone on. At the start, he was a little shaky, but it's gotten better and better every blade.
Let's test him, Jamerson. So are you saying he's like, Super Saiyan 1 right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's about to double up.
Okay. Do you ever see? Okay, all right. We'll discuss that in the break. I actually am really curious to see how like AF, or more importantly like Blink, running a dive defense but not being able to dive because of the position they were in. Right, they had to come out of the same hole, and to dive and to kind of figure out where everyone is and make the right call at the right second is really difficult to do. Where AF get the engagement they want with Arhan.
Oh man, Huss getting styled on by Attune there. Attune now into the back line after this Mercy. She's trying to GA over the safety. The defense matrix is now gone. It's going to be Jin getting the kill onto Gunba, and RQT will fall. With that, they've only gotten 1 kill in like the last 3 fights. And they've all been res.
Yeah,
well,
I feel like they're kind
res.
of bursting at the seams here.
Another blade ready to go. Another pulse bomb too. I think the second they come out, Arhan, he's going to see blood in his eyes, and he's going to look for the closer on this map. Only a couple of minutes left to finish off, and 4 minutes of time to do it. AF definitely looking poised to finish off and go up a 2-0 in the series. I like Arhan's little tech here, actually, with the ledge, too. Just stay on the high ground. He's
Ledge guarding, would you say?
Beautiful hook drill.
Yeah, another pulse bomb comes out, forcing out that res onto Gunba. It's going to be the self-destruct once again from Taidala. RQT will fall. Arhan with another blade. Gets the reset, and there it is. It's making the final turn is the payload here, as we do have Uwu trying his best along with Trill to keep this alive and just buy some time for the respawners to come back in for Blink.
IDK's about to have Valkyrie, and here come the Resogens back alive. Attune's looking for the 1v1 against RQT. Gets it with the help of Taidala. And AF Blue, well AF, not Blue, gonna be finishing off the map. Go
Definitely
2-0.
not
We're on the blue side.
They've got to be pretty happy with that performance. Just steamrolling through.
D-double die.
Yeah. And it's going to be
Good to go for that
Arhan
song,
to get
I
play
think.
of the game. And which blade is going to be this time? Oh no, this is just the dash resets. Yeah. Dash reset. There's another one, and there's another. Man, this offense just really did wonders up against them.
He ascended as the game went on.
All right, keep
Better,
going with
better.
it. Keep going with it.
No, no, I'll
I'm
leave
gonna,
it there.
no, you can't tease me like this. You know, you gotta go for it.
Hey, put me on the spot. I'm gonna tease you now.
Don't say that.
I'm just sitting here enjoying all this, by the way.
Oh, you like to watch him
Yes.
teasing me. Okay.
I mean, that's why I have the window in my bathroom.
Oh god.
Yeah. But yeah,
God.
now Blank looking a little lost, looking a little disheveled, not too sure what to do there, and I would be too after that defense as AF just pick them apart time and time again. We'll see what happens for map number 3 after this break.
Weston，侦测到入侵者。
好了，阿菲娜，
我带领守望先锋奋战了20年，人们曾经视我为英雄，那真是一段美好的日子，美好而短暂。
人们认为没有我们，他们的生活会更好。他们甚至把我们当作罪犯。
你为什么要这么做？
他们摧毁了我们这个大家庭。
风云再度变幻，是时候做出选择了。
但是你们看看，现在必须有人站出来，我们必须站出来。
找到什么了？又来捣蛋了吗，亲爱的？
没那么容易。
我们可以再次改变这个世界，这个世界比以往更加需要我们。你们来不来？
strengths of AF Blue currently are their front line, their main tank and their off tank, Jin and Tidal. They make a lot of space for their team, which allows plays from their DPS players. We're very confident today against AF Blue, but I think after our game against MT1 today, if we play well, we'll be able to perform even better.
이제 BLK 팀은 그냥 좀 한다라고 알고는 있고요. 정확히는 잘 개인적인 선수들은 모르고 저희가 이제 지금 8승 0패로 1위를 하고 있는데 이제 BLK만 이기면 BLK를 오늘도 4대 0을 이겨서 무패로 12승 0패로 올라가도록 하겠습니다.
You heard it there. MVP, excuse me, of this map is going to be Arhan. While he did lose that Mercy battle, the 1v1, he did come back with a vengeance with those blades, and time again. Look, 49 eliminations across this map.
I think it's the first time the stat screens really fit the player, because all those things are blades, and that's what he was doing the entire time, all the little stats. This man was playing ridiculous. Again, his blades, this is something your coach Chu said to me on the bus one day. He said that you guys get always afraid of Arhan because 1 second he can be, playing Genji, and the next second he can kill your entire team in one Swiss strike.
I mean, it's terrifying. Definitely as a player perspective.
That's what
at any moment.
We were saying yesterday, like we wish some players like were wearing heart monitors and just see how their heart fluctuates with like hearing the blade come out of certain players.
Yeah, Arhan's heart just stopped when he lost that 1v1 against Mercy. We saw the 2 modes of Arhan there the end, but still, this man has been impressing us time and time again across the week, and now we heard it there in the interview. Afreeca Freecs, they're looking to close this out with a perfect record, the only team so far with a perfect record, as they're sitting now 10-0. So we move on to the third map, and this is where it gets very dicey, especially for the side of Blank. I mean, we saw what happened on Assaults earlier on in their matchup up against MT1 on Anubis, and right now, AF, they look unstoppable.
I mean, at least we can give this to Blank. They were able to capture first point out of Anubis, unlike Flash Wolves and Vici. Because if Flash Wolves, Flash Wolves MVP space, that neither of them were able to capture first point, or even get a first third on Temple of Anubis. So hey, they're already doing better than them, right? But no, I actually have confidence that AF can hold first point on this.
I'd have to second that.
Thank you. I didn't want you to like call me out and have the Blank guys beat me up behind the studio later on.
I love the Blank boys, but you can see that they struggle on this this game type specifically. And as I've said earlier, that Afreeca Freecs is just getting better and better as the series goes on, and it looks like it's kind of digressing for Blank.
And I'm gonna go ahead and Price is Right you. I think Blank are gonna be able to take 1 tick on A. Bam.
Well, I mean, did you Price right us that we said they're not going to capture first?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So we lowballed
Okay, they're not going to get even any progress, even within the first tick. There we go. I'll Price is Right you.
It's going to be Hanamura for our third map here. Blank versus Afreeca Freecs. Now, both teams, like we've mentioned, have already secured their spot, but this is just pride at this point. I mean, we're not seeing too many wonky compositions. They are just completely trying their hearts out in this matchup.
I could do a Jeopardy for you.
Can you?
Yeah. The team who was unable to capture the first point on Hanamura.
Who is Blank?
There you go. See, at least you got that. I saw like a scared look in Jamerson's eyes, like I don't know how to respond to this for a second.
Well, I heard the answer, which was who is Blank, and I was like, wait, is that an answer? Because Blank as the
he has a point.
The underscores.
like their shirts that were just white shirts that were Blank. That was a pretty good uniform.
It's the best uniform. It was actually the $500 Kanye West V-necks.
Oh.
No, it was.
Were they wearing Yeezys too?
It wasn't.
Where they get this money from?
I think
OPC winnings.
I'd say I think what Blank does in here into this this assault is they work on themselves here. They don't worry about if they win or they lose. I think they work on their problems and treat us like practice kind of.
Exactly. I mean, it's good practice for potentially like GC Busan or maybe Runaway, who might pick them at the end of the day.
Right.
Now we do have Trill once again on that Roadhog, who, of course, he's just been on that primary Diva duty as they are making their way through that choke point. The defense matrix gonna help mitigate a lot of that damage. Trill taking a lot of poke though, and we see Arhan already at 51% towards his blade.
You saw Goomba actually trailing behind. I was expecting him to get immediately bursted down by AF. We're able to spot that one coming through. And Trill actually already getting very low on HP, can be healed back up, and eventually, first goes going to go the way of Aichu up onto Jin, and Arhan just like 83% on his blade already. A minute in, they haven't even had a real fight yet, and he almost has a blade.
The flashbang was there, and it's going to be RQT with the res advantage to bring Troll back into this. They focus down IDK, and now Gunba from the high ground focusing down a tune. That's going to allow
All right, we're all wrong. We're all wrong, boys.
We are all wrong.
I think something I was super critical of on Huss was his flashbang usage. I think at the start there, even though they kept the point, he was a little antsy. He was trying to do like more predictions, but you should be more safe like with the flashbang because it's a huge cooldown for McCree.
He did ultimately hit it onto Arhan, as right beforehand Jin had fallen on that Winston, so they didn't have the rest to bring him back into it. But that does mean he does save a blade into this next fight, as we're going to have an all-out brawl on the points soon, as even on the side of Afreeca Freecs, 88% for a Tidala, 90% for AF Jin, for Jin, and then 84 for IDK.
I think what Blank's going to look to do here is hook a tank up top, clear the high ground, and then come down and look for a big play with the Diva Bomb.
So for the whole Hog has come in out of Trill, and pretty much none of them nothing has actually forced them back up the point. Still has his hook up, but he's not using it. Why is he saving this here? As you're pointing out, maybe looking for a kill in a tank. They didn't lose anyone. Why?
No, they lost EU up.
Okay, they did lose someone.
I think he was scared of the bubble being dropped midair. I think that was something he could have been looking for.
It's like getting styled on, basically?
Yeah, basically.
Get styled on?
That's why you go for the melee and try to bait it out. It's one thing you can try and do, but it's not that reliable. Now, they have regrouped up with Eat You Up, and they're going to go for that high ground push once again, as it's all low ground on the side of Afreeca. Ooh, the Deadeye was confused by Huss. He's not going to find anything off it, but Trill will. Lucid is gone, forcing out the rest, but here's the blade finally coming up from Arhan. Transcendence is answered by Gunba, as Attune is answering back to the side of Afreeca Freecs.
That's been a nice little Transcendence to keep Arhan alive, too. Self-destruct is coming in. Looks like Tidal going to get the kill on RQT, so going to lose out on the reses, and RQT did have his Valkyrie, so this could have been an extended fight on the point, but just one self-destruct is able to shut this one down and keep Blink away from getting any real progress.
I'm going to keep drilling this point home, but Huss hasn't continued to use flashbang recklessly into Diva matrices, into bubbles, and it's getting no value. And then you see Genji's kind of dash onto the supports and get kills or use blades. When if he saves it and is more patient with it, then he might be able to get kills and turn fights in his favor.
Now 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. Blink, plenty of time to work with. It's just the ultimates that they're trying to build up here. The advantage, there we go. Pulse Bomb comes out, Attune. Now, out of position. There's no way the Mercy's going to go in for that res now. We do have him into the back line. Lucid about to fall into the melee that finishes him off. Now he's pressuring onto the point. Recall has to be used by Eat You Up, but still man advantage now as Lucid has fallen for a second time.
There was a Deadeye used by Huss. I didn't really get anything, it looks like. Was able to at least force him made it to a bad spot, but IHUp is still getting kills. He gets Tidal this time. That's going to be IDK falling, and Blake have a very good chance of finally picking up some progress. Blake going to come in out of Arhan, but it's going to be shut down. Huss able to redeem himself with a headshot onto Arhan, and I think this is going to be Blank. At least get this third, maybe a second if they can get this quick kill on Tidal.
Full Spawn comes out to force out that D-Mech for sure. Now we have the Mei stall tactics coming out on the side of Afreeca Freecs. It's Lucid that swapped off. Arhan is going to go for that Reaper also just to have a bit more staying power. Self-destruct, forcing out the Ice Block, but Arhan instantly gets taken out. Transcendence is going to be used by Gunba here as they double down on the side of Blink, but still no more cooldowns. Lucid will fall, and they are trickling onto the point one by one, stalling this out as Tidal will fall. Deadeye here connects onto two, and that might be enough. Ice Block, though, is still there for Lucid.
Yeah, but this is only going to buy you a little bit of time as you're going to finish him off, and the progress will start in just a second. Jin switching to Bastion, but quickly gets picked up. I eat you up. This man is being insane so far. He's picked up so many kills, and he continues to look for more. Flashbang comes in, and Huss will get the conversion into a kill onto Attune.
Yeah, they are just stalling this out for as long as possible. The Mei with the Ice Block once again. The Bastion from inside spawn, but he doesn't have the healing there. He will fall once again. Now this is just a shooting gallery for a Huss. They stalled it out for a good, decent amount. I'm not too sure who was stalling there at that point. I think it was Attune. Self-destruct. Doesn't get Huwu's mech, actually. That stun grid doesn't quite connect, but IDK brings back Tidal and the Afreeca Freecs. They tried their best. They burned off about 2 minutes at least, but still, it's going to be Blank taking the second point.
So would you agree with me, McGravy, that pretty much I eat you up with like Super Saiyan Purple there?
Yes.
Okay, see? That's not a thing! I knew it! I knew I could catch you out on that one.
Baited.
No, but he went he went off. Like,
Yeah,
what is there to say?
absolutely.
He was on the kill feed more often than not.
That pulse bomb into the Zen kill was really what opened up this fight. And then allowed Huss to be, like I said, more patient with the flashbangs, make sure he's getting the kills, and that's what allowed him to clean up the point and cap.
Well, it also started a little bit sooner before that because it was a Toon who was outside by the ledge side Mega who got caught out by the pulse bomb. And it was, once again, eat you up, starting it all off.
And then he killed Lucid right after that, and then the Valkyrie was forced to get it back alive, and that was just a big snowball. But really well done by Blank, I think, most importantly, to keep their composure when they start seeing like Reaper and May and everything start to trail in. I mean, that's the point, I think, of Assault, where your target calling has to be on point, and everyone needs to be following the target calling. You need to clean those kills up as quick as you can.
They also might be having a little fun here, like you said before. It's kind of a pride match at this point. AF has the first place locked up. I mean, how many people you see pull out Bastion on the last point there and sit there? And
I don't know what kind of games you get in your level of rank, but down here in Silver for me, it's every game.
Yeah. So I'd say a little more ranked mentality, you know, have some more fun with it. Pull out the Bastion, maybe pull something out.
I think you and I are actually probably the highest rated casters in Overwatch.
Maybe ZP?
No.
No?
Well, because he hasn't played in forever. Unless it's a Smurf who's hiding it.
I play with Jamerson every once in a while.
Yeah,
we do once in a blue moon.
I think we're only casters that have hit top 500.
I was only up there for like a week.
Doesn't matter. You still hit it. I don't think anyone else has hit it.
You were there.
None of the casters.
You were there.
It was a week, and then like I had to go out to like Sydney. So the decay was real. All right, so now it's going to be Afreeca Freecs on their offensive Toon sitting on this Widowmaker. We'll see if he can open it up. Offensive Widowmaker is always strong here on Assaults.
We'll see. The tanks here for Blank will have to play kind of line of sight, looking to get hooks and kind of avoid the Widowmaker.
There we go.
Well, they get the hook in on Tidala at least. That's be a quick kill onto that man. At least going to halt this push a little bit longer. You can see though Arhan trying to flank around the side, try to at least contest the point a little bit and maybe force Blank to have an awkward retreat while the rest of AF are able to push in.
I think Blank here is giving maybe the Widow a little bit too much respect, not really holding the choke here. They're playing a little passively, letting Arhan get into the point, and it might, we'll see how it goes, but it might end up costing them. We'll see.
Arhan gets spotted out, and Gunba, Eat You Up, goes for it. There we go. He was trying to get over to the mini. He will fall to Eat You Up, and those are some loud cheers. Nice hook comes in, but the defense matrix is there to keep him all healthy. Now Trill getting focused down, but that means a Toon just puts himself in harm's way, and he will fall with that Helix rocket coming in.
Just want to say, one of those people cheering is your teammate, McGravy. It's Shane down there.
I can hear him.
The high-pitched one is Shane.
Yep, I can hear it. I know that's him.
That's his mating call. But yeah, we see Blank now. No ultimates just yet. We do have the whole hug coming up. Most importantly, the Transcendence. You know, Goomba's a little bit behind Lucid, but that's also because Lucid's team has been taking more damage. He's been able to heal up quite a bit more. Hook has come in yet again, but Lucid's going to get the kill on a Trill. 90K is going to be forced, or sorry, RQT's going to be forced to use the res off that.
Yeah, now take a look. They're coming back with a vengeance. Afreeca Freecs cleaning up almost the entirety of Blank. It's just Eat You Up here with that final kill. The gong should sound. That is the team kill.
That's kind of what I meant when they give it too much respect. They were kind of pushed back into a corner, and they kind of just let a Toon walk in with Soldier and get way too much value.
Yeah, he just walked up straight at the gun and had the tactical visor out. Both supports were in the way. But they had to commit a lot into that, so they're not going to have that snowball that we see so often here on Assault maps. Arhan?
We didn't see that. Let's just ignore it. Yeah, we won't roast him for it.
He probably recalled and like died.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good ledge guarding by each
I'll cut him a break.
The ledge guard, super strong.
It's happened to everyone at one point in their life.
Transcendence used by Gunbo. It's not going to be enough to keep Trill alive here. They have to be careful. Self-destruct straight in the face of Huss as he's getting batted back by Jin with that primal rage. Now, Afreeca Freecs. They're the ones on the high ground.
No one's even contested point. They just got a free third, about to get a free second. What is going on? They're going to get 2 ticks for nothing. Blank finally going to get on the point, but look at how low HP they all are. RQT's died again when he has his Valkyrie up.
The self-destruct was enough to zone them off the point, though. Now they're trying to equal this out. Arhan brought back with that res. The melee, just not enough. But there it is. They're going to finish off Trill here. Now we do have the Valkyrie getting popped by RQT. He hasn't brought anyone back quite yet with it. Trill will be the person that he brings back as Huss has swapped off onto that Doomfist. The Toon, though, still on this high ground, finally getting pressured down. But the secondary res comes out to bring back Huss.
Doomfist comes in, knocks him into the wall. Toon picks up the Mega, though, and Jin's immediately there to protect him. The point is still being contested. It's actually being captured now. It's getting so close to finishing off this point. RQT trying to not get caught out, but he's being just zapped alive as Jin picks himself up. Another assist, and Arhan the pulse bomb pretty much be throwing this one directly onto Diva, and who was in the AD student. Huss just wait to stagger this one just to make sure they can't complete it as quick as possible.
Oh, the Transcendence. He was just too high up to receive that healing, and he does fall. Gunba now on the point by himself as RQT instantly gets taken out after that res. Now Huss, though, tries to answer back, finds one kill. They have the res for a tune now. They're just trying to stall this out. 4 minutes. They just need a few more percentage, and with that, they force them off. 4 minutes and 3 seconds. That's what's left on the clock for Afreeca Freecs.
I think Blank did a good job of stalling, but I think when they go through those 2 free ticks, they kind of just signed their own death warrant there.
I don't know how that happened.
I mean, when you get those 2 ticks up, you have to kind of play differently. You have to play more around point, and you're giving up their soldier a lot of free room, and I think Attune just shredded them.
When they were going out 1 by 1, I was having flashbacks to Envious, a match for the Overwatch Atlantic Showdown qualifiers. Before there was hero limits, keep in mind, they ran 5 divas and Harry Hook, or Nabijarup, I think his name was at the time, on Soldier.
Yep.
And they stalled Devo out 1 by 1 by 1. They held for like 5+ minutes of time, and then held the point completely on the end of that. That's what I was getting flashbacks there. I mean, but that's also the attitude they had. The fact that Huss was waiting, in spawn means they knew they weren't gonna defend the point. It was about wasting as much time as possible.
Yep. That's smart, and once you kind of realize that you have no chance unless you make a miracle play of taking the point back, then playing for time is the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
It's pretty smart from them.
And that's where Doomfist was so powerful when we were watching him so much in OWPS, was that you could come in, get a quick kill, and then, hey, you start to have a man advantage, you start to pull that one back, but with the Mercy changes, that Doomfist's instant kill potential, unless you can convert it into 2, isn't really as strong anymore.
Yep. Well, we'll see the Roadhog from Trill again. I think they were really liking that in the first point, and they'll kind of transition that into the attack as well.
Nothing really changing on the side of Afreeca Freecs here for their defense. Once again, the battle cry coming out from the Oceanic team in Blank. The Aussies were deafening in Sydney, and they're trying to make themselves known here.
I wonder if Puwu actually chimes in on that chant, considering he's from New Zealand.
We should check, actually. But now they've made their entrance in, but already 2 kills going over. Gunba and Huss down. They're just going to beat over RQT. With that, they'll force them back.
That's the difference between the Blank defense and the Afreeca Freecs defense. You saw that they didn't give as much respect. They killed them right when they were crossing, and they just destroyed their backline.
Who was on Diva before, right?
Yeah.
So he just kind of ran back to spawn and then
resuited his mech to get the mech back. Yeah.
Wondering what that was for a second. Arhan Blade ready to go after 1 fight, and now 1:45 left for Blake to capture, maybe get any sort of progress on this first point, where on the other hand, AF have 4 minutes of time.
So we see the Blade coming out. Arhan gets shut down. There we go. That's what we were talking about. The patience coming out from Huss now with that stun grenade. Shuts him down. But the res was there.
Oh my
and
God.
somehow they're fighting back.
Did he really just kill Huss and get away when there was a 1-on-3?
That can't happen.
Why don't you break down that for us?
That's just a misplay. And the textbook definition of a misplay, you have 3 people sitting on Arhan, he has no cooldowns, and he ends up getting a kill and then getting out. I mean, that just can't happen.
The 2 modes of Arhan, but there we go. Tactical visor from on high. Attune getting focused down, but he's got the biotic field to keep him healthy, as we do have Huss. No one in sight quite yet for that Deadeye. Not going to pick up anything here. Self-destruct is going to be used here. That doesn't come up with anything either. Huss has to fall back.
Lucid, Transcendence ready to go, and I wish we could see how much damage he's doing, because he's been sitting here for a long time just chipping away at people left and right. I think he's been sitting on this Trance actually for quite a long time too, where Goomba's already been forced to use one of them. Arhan, another Blade, almost ready to go, 80% on this man, and 30 seconds left for Blank to make, again, some serious progress on the point.
I would like to see a Winston to kind of contest Arhan here. He's not really putting any pressure, getting any pressure besides from a free flashbang from earlier, but right now he's getting the free opportunity to farm blades, and it's really showing to having a good defense here.
Yeah, Trill has swapped off, eat you up, went for that pulse spawn, did not connect. Now as the Blade comes out from Arhan, he gets the D-Mech, will get the kill onto the Diva, and now he's on for the reset. Gonna try and take the support battle again. This time he wins it out. He's got the support of his Mercy. Guys, our predictions might have been just a little bit wrong here on the second offense. It looks like is where AF are going to be able to hold them. Now they do have the stall coming out. The self-destruct doesn't get anything for Huwu, but he's able to get the mech back on in. But it's Attune with this tactical visor and the help, the rest of Afreeca Freecs will be able to clean up Blink, but it's tough to them here on Hanamura.
Yeah, that's rough. I think the comp that Blank had was not as good as it could have been. I think the McCree and the Hog, they didn't get as much value as they were looking for.
Now you said, Blink could probably go into season as like practice. Do you think they're experimenting with like compositions a little bit on maps at all, or do you think they have a set comp they just want to like test and kind of tweak it?
They could be experimenting, but I know this is a comp they're comfortable with. They've run it before, so I think they're trying to see on Hanamura. I'm not sure if that's a map. This is a map they've played before. If they have experience on, maybe they're trying it out on this map. Kind of widen their assault map pool. That's the only kind of explanation I can think for it.
Okay.
But still, capping second against Afreeca Freecs. I mean, they couldn't even cap second against MT1, so it's impressive within itself.
Now this is where it gets really difficult. 4 minutes and 3 seconds. That's what's left on the clock for Afreeca Freecs. And all they have to do is secure a third. And, well, they get the perfect 3-0. But they're still going to be shooting for that 12-0 map record, as we saw in that video in the interview. This man Huss is not able to win out the battle against Arhan, unfortunately.
I think Afreeca Freecs might switch it up here. I think they might pick the Widow and stick with it here. Either that or find something with kind of a more of a long-term solution for the like a team wipe ability, like a Zarya. Obviously, you won't see a Zarya here, but something to that effect.
I mean, yeah, just the one ult to win a game.
Exactly.
And you only need is a third, but
they'll pick the McCree here.
With the way AF's been playing, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like they even need it with how quick that first attack really was.
Yeah.
Let's see if Blank can maybe do something about this. No sneaky Reinhardt's. I'm not going to see Shame magically appearing on Hanamura and charging Yaoji again into the wall. Hook comes in, does land. They get the DC right off the bat, so a good strong start out of Blank. But they've also given up a lot of ground.
It's Ty Dalla to go down first, recipient of the res. He's going to make his way over to safety to get that mech back on in. Jin now going to apply some pressure onto the point as they do have 4 members on there. It's going to be EU up though. Taking out Lucid. Attune builds up that Deadeye so quickly. Gets the D-Mech onto Uwu now. Getting pressured a little bit by EU up, but it's a nice headshot taking him out, and they are losing bodies. Are Blank. They're just like 10% away as Attune is lighting up the kill feed with this McCree with his final kill onto the Diva.
I love his target selection there.
Yeah.
Attune's like, instead of shooting like the Roadhog, who's like an easy target to hit, he's a low HP soldier and just drops him like in the midst of that. I don't know. I think that's something like a lot of people don't have that are trying to become pro players. You play in ranked is like target focus and knowing to shoot. Yeah, like the Winston's really big and easy to hit. Yeah, the Roadhog's easy to hit, but the kill you need isn't that target.
It's the soldier, the chaser.
Yeah, really well done.
Yep.
The communication is definitely there for Afreeca Freecs. We saw throughout this map that Lucid, who had a pretty good game, he was calling out the Discord targets. You saw even when they were going for the stalls out on second, were Blank, the Discords were there, and instantly everyone would turn around 180s onto that target.
Yeah, and you can see like Trill opened up with that hook there, and they lost their suit and they lost their Diva, but they were still not afraid to go in, go for that res, take map control, and they ended up taking it because they weren't afraid to make a play. They weren't afraid of just using res or resetting.
Well, also knowing, I guess, for Blank that they only had a third left to go. I mean, it's not like you can be super aggressive. You have to fight on the point anyways, but...
All right, we'll have the conclusion of this matchup after this break. Will AF get the perfect 12-0 in their group?
Premier 锦标赛历经1年战火再次点燃，来自国内外的8支顶尖战队蓄势待发，上海国家会展中心正式拉开战幕。谁能缔造全新的传奇？谁又能力斩群雄，勇夺桂冠？10月26日至29日，敬请锁定 APAC 观看赛事直播。
听好了，镇上的扎克们，我知道你们很辛苦，想要在这片废土上活下去。但是面对现实吧，世界末日说来就来， 过去的日子只是一场梦，是时候了，该惊醒了。他们以为可以把我们的土地送给那帮机器，他们错了，我们赢了。这一切现在属于我们，我们在废墟里建起了这个新家园。到废料场来吧！没有规矩，没有同情，这里强者为王。我是你们的女王，欢迎见证末日。欢迎来到扎克镇。
Let the games begin!
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And the MVP for map number 3, it's going to be Attune. We saw him on the Soldier 76. We saw him on the McCree there. 34 eliminations across Hanamura.
I agree, it was breathtaking.
Yes.
It was really breathtaking there. His McCree, I don't know, like, I remember trying to prepare for this tournament, and there's a couple of people, I remember, Tachyon I called out like on day 2 about Attune's McCree. People are saying his McCree's not that good. It looked pretty damn good to me there.
No, it looks solid, especially when you consider that he had to replace for a Cry, which is some big shoes to fill, and I definitely think he's up to the plate here for this map.
Yeah, I know if I was in those shoes, I would have shot the Roadhog every day of the week.
Yeah, but he's shooting right past him too. I mean, that was great target calling, target selection, right? Who's the real playmaker there? If you keep the Soldier 76 alive, what if he drops down the biotic field for the Hog and allows him to stay alive that much longer? Now, it's gonna be map number 4, Blank's choice, as we move on to Hybrid for our final map. And at this point, Freecs, they look unstoppable. Like, what do you see any weaknesses in their play so far, McGravy?
I wouldn't say any transparent weaknesses that have really stuck out. I definitely think at the start I said they were a balanced team, and that's why they're going to beat Blank. And it's really showed that they've had plays come from their tank line, they've had plays come from their supports, they've had plays from the DPS. It's been from all over the place. I think that's why they're doing so well right now.
What about their DPS? I don't know. I'm thinking, does Arhan get too greedy sometimes?
Oh, I think he does.
Like a Lucio against this for some reason. I don't know. I keep going back to Lucio. You can like bait him in really far. Yeah. But then again, if you can't win a 3-on-1 as Blank, then you can't really stop him.
Exactly. I think that's why he's getting so greedy. Is because he sees he can walk into a backline, 1v3, kill somebody, and then get out. I mean, can you blame him for being so greedy?
I'm envious of him because I wish I could do that.
Now, the Afreeca Freecs, they're one map away from getting a perfect record here in the group stage up against Blank, MT1, and AHQ. MT1 and AHQ, who we will be seeing after this matchup. And then we'll have the group draw. And guess what? The group draw, we actually have the teams here to do it.
Yep.
MY, GC Busan, Runaway, along with 1246. I actually just saw Runaway walking into the venue.
You get a picture with them later, Jamerson.
I want to do it now. I want to do it now. But yeah, we have to get through this map first. It's going to be onto a hybrid map, and it is Blake's pick, and they're sending it to Kings Row.
I do see my boy Kaiser down there, and I want to give him a big hug.
Yeah. Emperor Kaiser.
One day, soon. I think I saw Stitch earlier as well.
Yeah, Stitch is there.
He's not wearing a Stitch jersey.
It's okay, he can take mine.
Jamerson's fanboy.
As long as you can take it, you'll never wash it again.
Yeah, never wash it again. Yeah, it's going to be Kings Row here, and, you know, Blank, they played some interesting compositions on Kings Row before. We haven't seen it quite yet, but in their matchup against AHQ, in their last matchup against AHQ in the OPC, this is where they pulled out a Bastion or Risa on the offense. Do you think they might do it here?
Why not?
Why
I mean,
not?
there's no way this map is going to change anything for you.
Sounds like they still want to win, though.
Yeah.
Still chancing, still giving it
their
their all.
That call. They've done it before.
I'm expecting to see a lot of like plays off Trill's Roadhog here, especially on Kings Row, and I mean, it's a difference maker.
Ooh, it's the Junkers battling out over at the hotel as Trill getting zoned out by that Junkrat. Just taking some poke damage, but that means that a Riptire is going to come all that much sooner as Arhan already at 60%, takes out Huss, forcing out the rest.
I think I want to see more of the safe hooks coming out from Trill, not so many chance hooks through hotel. I want to see him try and hook Tracers, for example, right there.
There you go.
So we have the commentator's curse, but you have the opposite of it, apparently. Tell me I'm going to win the lottery.
You're not going to win the lottery.
Son of a... All right, well, Arhan using Tire. Doesn't really get a ton from it. But they're able to push back in and force Blank back and Huss like to switch. Something I like about Blank. They're really willing to switch comps like very quickly. And Huss, you know, notices the Junkrat, notices there's nothing to really counter him in the air. The air. Don't know where that came from. So he plays the Pharah.
I like this switch. They have the Junkrat and the Tracer for the DPS. They don't have anything to deal with the Fair Mercy. So as long as Huss lands his rockets here, it should be. They should have a good chance of taking the point here.
Now they're going to have to rely upon Eat You Up here with that Pulse Bomb to get an opening frag, but no, as I say that, it's going to be the res to bring him back as he fell to Arhan on that Junkrat. There it is, Pulse Bomb. Jin is gone, forcing out the res along with the Valkyrie from IDK. Huss now on the lurk. He wants to get this kill, but it's going to be IDK who brings back a tune. Still.
I don't know if you hear that over the microphones. That's Arhan screaming.
Yeah.
He's yelling for some reason. I don't know why, but he's hyped up and they're looking good. Who was able to get a kill onto Jin and get a DC onto Tidal out of Trill. So at least looking good for them to maybe you know, stop this push back in. But AF still have time to get the reinforcements there. Only a third is now taken.
Yeah, Atum just lurking here, trying to make his approach in, but he gets spotted out by Eat You Up and is forced back.
I'm surprised they didn't go for a recontest there with the trance there. It looks like they had enough members, but maybe they're just playing it safe, making sure they get a solid hold for the second part of Streets here.
I thought they were going to, actually.
Yeah.
They're regrouping for it, but like I said, I mean, maybe trying to hold this archway is something they want to go for. Though they still don't really have a counter for Huss just yet. Arhan about to have another tire. The push is coming in. Big battle in the air, big battle on the ground. The barrage not used just yet because Huss hasn't been able to build it, but there we go. He has it available. And Arhan, he wants to kill. He's not going to get it, but he does help secure it.
There we go. They're going to push them all the way to spawn. Get the D-Mech here. Probably leave him out of the mech and just wait for him to respawn. No, Arhan, he's bloodthirsty. Not able to connect with that concussive mine. But there we go. They finish off Uwu. Still, Blank, they've got a lot of ultimates to work with on this next push. They're lacking in the support ultimates, but we'll see if Huss can come up with anything with this barrage.
I don't think I would mind seeing a, after they use their ults here, seeing a Rein Zarya comp. Use the Rein shield to kind of deny the Junkrat and also use the bubbles to kind of build energy and see if you can snowball off that.
Now the Riptire coming in. Arhan. They're actually expertly kiting away on the side of Blank. They took the high ground there. I think they're pushing in. No, 3 members still waiting in spawn.
Zoning tire.
Yeah. Time we did it. It's a real thing, right?
Yep. I mean, they destroyed us with that. Remember that?
Nope. I don't remember any games you got destroyed. So I've never remember where you guys played.
I do. It's awful.
I totally missed the anyways, yeah, let's move on. Let's be self-destruct killing Huss. And IHU up looking to finally get out as Blank have finally been able to get past their own spawn back to the payload, which is rolled all the way back towards first point. They have still have res, just Tidal a little bit too far up to get back to life.
Yeah, it's forced to recall and rejoin his team here, but they're still contesting, and you know what? This works as we have a 1-for-1 exchange. A tune running into that pulse bomb. It's going to be RQT to bring back I Eat You Up. Now take a look. Lucid connecting with all of those orbs. Taking out Huss by himself. Transcendence will be used by Gunba as he was stuck in a trap, and he gets instantly bursted down by a tune as that dissipates, and now AF not giving up any free ground.
I think there's a reason Fazix tweeted to me saying Lucio is probably one of the best Lucios he's ever played against.
He is a really good Zen.
Sorry, Lucio, Zen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zen he's ever played against.
Ask Jaro about it. I know for a fact he was getting really frustrated in scrims because, I mean, Lucio would just charge up right clicks, double dink him, left click him like he just did a Pharah flying in the air.
Oh, rough game so far for Blank, but they've been able to get a spawn at least, able to find the play second point, or play the second phase of the map. Lucid's going to have his Transcendence, and Arhan's about to have another tire who's still sticking to the Junkrat. A little bit surprised though, or well done by IHU who hasn't really had too much problems yet with Arhan.
Lucid quick with that E button, getting that Orb of Discord onto the Tracer. Body shot, forcing her to recall. Now Eat You Up. Finding it very difficult to find an entry here with this Tracer. There's the Riptire over the roofs. The chimney sweep comes in. It's going to be Arhan to clean up RQT.
It's not Santa Claus coming down that fireplace.
Tire death.
Yeah. it's Santa Claus's cousin, actually. But Jin, hey, back in their spawn. I Eat You Up. Like, I can escape the spawn. I got this. And then there's a rabid monkey behind you.
Just punching you in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Jin's, like, spatial awareness is something else on this Winston. I mean, we saw hints of it on Nepal, but there to cut off the retreating Tracer. Was not expecting that at all. It was kind of like a Michael Myers situation.
Like I mentioned earlier here, like I'd like seeing the Zarya Ryan, and they end up pulling it out here. Try to look for an answer here for the Junkrat, and we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, they're going to go for a Junkrat of their own as Huss has now swapped off. Eat You Up is going to pick up the McCree. They're going to go for this Death Ball composition as really they can wear away. Pulse Bomb does connect. It was on the shield of Trill, but with that Trill is going to fall. The Resurrection does come out to keep him back into this as Arhan takes out RQT, and now we are running out of time. 10 seconds left as Transcendence is used, and they're going to push forward. No, they're falling back. Our Blank, but a great Fire Strike comes out there from Trill to get rid of it.
Huss on the Junkrat trying to do some serious work, but that's going to be the Deadeye getting 2 kills out of I Eat You Up. The rest of the coming out of ID getting Arhan back up, as well as Tidala for the remech. Point still being contested at the moment. Blake has lost so many people. Who gets a grab off as he falls, and Goomba, the last man alive. AF gonna hold in second.
I think I would have liked to see those swaps maybe a little earlier. They swapped to Orion Zarya with a minute left. Didn't really get him any time to look for those Earth Shatters or those grabs. So maybe just a little late, maybe a little late on the shot call, but otherwise I like the effort for the switch.
Arhan. I mean, we've seen just the deadly power that Junkrats have, but Arhan was pretty much uncontested. There was nothing they could do whatsoever. And it was a lot of that was because of the zone control being provided by Lucid on that Zenyatta. We saw Eat You Up. He had no opportunity to get in. Eventually, he had to swap off onto, I believe it was the McCree there. It's just, I don't know. It looks like AF were just completely reading everything that Blank are throwing at them.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get value as a DPS duo when the enemy Zenyatta is 4-shotting your Pharah out of the sky. He's forcing every recall that Tracer has. You're not going to get a lot of value. It's going to be pretty tough.
I'm just watching the camera show run away. Just looking over at Jamerson. Just looking like he's itching just to get up and run over there and be like, guys!
The hard eyes.
Did you bring your runaway sweatshirt?
Not with me today, but there'll be opportunities. There'll be opportunities.
All right. Yeah. I mean, next week as we do kick off the playoffs. And of course, coming up after this, we still have one more match to come. MT1 up against AHQ. And then we do close things out with the group draw. We get to find out who's going to be playing against who.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
I really want to see what the opinions are of, our 4 top seeds of everyone else in the competition.
Right. And considering what MY, Jisoo-Basan, Runaway have had 0 time to prepare on the new patch.
Yeah.
They'll get a couple of days while they're here, but it is definitely, as from like a team that only had a couple of days on the patch, it's definitely hard to adjust, especially with the new Mercy. Not running Lucio when you've had your Lucio player on Lucio for, months on end, exactly.
A year.
It's a big difference.
A tune out the gates with this Widowmaker, and They have nothing at all to deal with this other than IE you up, trying to get into the backline or Huwu, but that puts himself in such a vulnerable spot. If it's traded 1-for-1, RQT not going to be able to res anyone that gets back there.
Well, they want to play towards Hotel with this composition. I mean, using the Roadhog, it's a little bit harder for them to push back on a point because Trill is just going to be that ult battery that we've talked about before. But Husk gets an early kill on IDK, so that opens things up for them to at least get a first point home for now.
For now, Attune's still alive here, though, and he's connected with shots, and that's going to allow them to get the kill onto Husk. The high ground is just completely controlled by Afreeca Freecs here.
Even though Husk gets picked there, I think Trill's doing a really good job of controlling a lot of the point. Even if he's not landing all the hooks, just that presence of having the hug there is making a big difference.
Arhan has played, and they're all grouped up in the hotel.
Oh
it's sleepy time for the team of Blank as Arhan gets a triple, looking for the quad, getting it on to Huwu. And AF getting a strong start, getting the first point taken.
I don't like your bedtime stories, Jason.
I mean, they're in a hotel, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Once upon a time, there was a Genji with the blade.
They're going to swap. Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
Oh,
you know who used to do this?
Yeah?
Old Selfless. You'd play King's Row, and they would just steam, the Frown would walk through, he would steamroll you by staying high ground soldier, and then they immediately swap to a Bastion comp, and you'd go to dive them, and you're like, what are they playing? And you would just get steamrolled every
At least
time.
they have the Roadhog, though, to spam the shield down. So, like, there's decent opportunity to get access to that Bastion, but Trill's taking so much damage.
Oh,
I mean, you can have, you know, you can take as much damage as you want, but Bastion just shooting your head, doesn't matter. I mean, this is disgusting.
Yeah, all the damage. They're trying their best to res back into this as RQT. Finally, Arhan will fall here as the Fortify was enough to keep Tydala alive for just a little bit. But yeah, they're going to clean it up on the side of Blank. But let's see, will AF swap anything off here? Arhan's already got his configuration tank.
That's like a total of like 15 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, he was just focusing down Trill. Trill had the orb on him. He also had to take a breather. He wasn't getting like any progress in his healing, but
they're
take
going
a
to
look,
set up
the
here,
high ground.
and they have nothing to stop this.
Ooh, big hook from Trill, though.
Oh, my.
Arhan, his sentry turret, it was just
sticking
barely
out.
hanging out. Yeah.
I wouldn't say this is a comp they have too much experience on and know all the little quirks about it. Maybe I'm wrong.
They're swapping. They've made swaps as Tydala's gone onto that Diva and Attune. He's on that Soldier 76, but
tank
Arhan
right away.
Yeah.
You know he's going to tank right away. It's like, all right, well, we already changed the comp away from this one. Might as well just use it. Damage amp him in the meantime. No Transcendence out of Goomba to stop this either, so this could be quite successful. This could be actually really damaging to Blank.
Here we go. Configuration tank comes
no,
out as
Husk
tries to go for that Deadeye, but he's got to get out of dodge here. Arhan, it's just a shooting gallery for him. There it is. The long-range cannon shot takes out two. RQT's almost got his Valkyrie for this. Double res back in, but now Trill, he's down for the count as the tank is set up. Jin now helping with the D-Mech. He's got the whole hog. He's going to force back Blank. Blank have an opportunity to try and defend this, though.
They're going to, but you have to pop that trance right away. They still don't really have an answer for Arhan. Luckily for them, they're just letting it go in by himself.
Oh,
Gladiator mode.
Gamba lost his trance there. That's pretty big. And,
yeah,
oh man.
No one's going to be able to touch the point here,
Yikes.
and with that, Afreeca Freecs will get that perfect 12-0 like they had wanted in the interview. Congratulations to them. No more Omnics. No more Omnics.
That's what happens after you see Bastion, right?
Yeah.
Arhan's going to be his big blade.
Someone from Blank just throwing it from spawn. No more Omnics. So yeah, this is a great blade. Everyone just funneled into Hotel, and Arhan, Genji has definitely been improving.
I mean, he's been playing it for forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least a year.
Season 1 Apex, you know, it's been
played
a while.
at APAC last year when he was here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Got to see it, I believe, during World Cup also. I mean, this is a man who's had a lot of attention drawn his way. He's just been on the big stage for so long, and now Tydala,
I love
this man.
Tydala, dude.
I love him.
We had to scrim right next to where Afreeca Freecs, you know, scrimmed.
Yeah.
And they are just a loud bunch. Like, they're always having fun. They're always giggling. You can hear when we're having a bad time, and they're just destroying us. You hear them giggling, having fun. They're just screaming and laughing. It's
so demoralizing.
It's demoralizing. They're just laughing and giggling, and you're just, what do we do?
All right, still, though, smiles on the faces of Blank, because they will be moving on to the round of 8, but, you know, it's Afreeca Freecs sending a message there. Trill, I feel like the Blink guys still had a lot of fun.
Oh, I mean, they can't be disappointed. They made playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,